Now then, people, and welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. Please smash a like on the stream, share and subscribe. We're so close to 1K subscribers now. So close. So please share it everywhere. Subscribe if you're not already. And it is time for that 1 to 11. It's a bit of a dreaded one because I got hammered for the last one. All Fulham, aren't we, and all that jazz. But this time it's against City. Surely Leeds fans can't hammer me if it's an all City 11. It just might well be. You'll have to check it out, man. Do that now. Peace. Heard it right. It's going to be Just Joe, and it's going to be all about football. He showed descent. Fan through it's in! Yes! Yes! I've seen many more appearances from Pablo. Fantastic, inaugural guest. I had to pull out the big guns.
And this is the moment when I take a stand. I've got big.
Now then, people, and welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. I've been searching for City fans. I've been searching for City fans all day for the opposition preview on All Leeds TV. We got that boxed off, and Dave got in touch with me, and I thought, do you know what? I'll use Dave for my 1 to 11. We didn't do this last week, and people assumed that I didn't do it last week because I got a load of hammer. Because Dave, I put 6 Fulham players in against the Leeds United and only had 5.
Right,
so the Leeds fans were not happy with me. So I didn't do it against Sheffield United. And people assumed that I'd knocked it on the head. But the reason I didn't do it against Sheffield United is because me and Hal, the Sheffield United fan, agreed that he would struggle to get any Sheffield United players in. So it'd be pointless doing it.
I can understand
He'll tell
that.
you different, but yeah, exactly.
I can understand that, yeah, fair play.
Yeah. I suppose a lot of City fans might think, well, actually, how can you get Leeds players in? So we'll see how we get on, Dave, because City have been absolutely phenomenal this season, mate. Absolutely flying. Just a quick question before we start. Do you think you can do the quadruple?
Honestly, no, because at some point we'll slip up somewhere. There'll be a moment somewhere that'll stop it for us. Yeah, as much as I'd love to think we can, I don't think we will. I don't think we will. It's probably going to be the Champions League we'll slip up in. I would have thought.
Yeah, I was going to say final at Carabao Cup. League's already yours. Chelsea in semi-final at FA Cup. It's that holy grail, the Champions League, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, Dortmund gave us a good game. It's not over and done with that from the first leg. And then you've only got to look at, we've got Bayern or PSG, and you've only got to see the game that was played last night as we're recording this. The quality that we've got to come up to there. And then, you potentially look at somebody like Real Madrid in the final. So, look, we've got a chance. We've got as good a chance as we've ever had of winning the Champions League. Just being a City fan, I'm quite pessimistic at times. So I just think at some point we are going to. But, hey, look, if we win the domestic treble again, it's not to be sniffing at all, is it?
Is it? No. I know we won the championship last season, but I'd just like to win a coveted trophy. So the fact that you could win 3, 4, 2, 1, it is what it is, isn't it? It's still a great season.
Oh yeah, I know. But before all this, the last 10 years started, when we won the FA Cup in 2011, that was the greatest day of my life at that point because other than winning the playoff final, I hadn't seen us win anything. So. And hopefully one day soon, you guys will get to live that. Fingers crossed for you.
Fingers crossed, Dave. Fingers crossed. It's been a long 16 years, but you guys know yourself, man. You've been down there, right? And made your way up, and maybe one time that dream will become a reality, like yourselves. But let's get into it then, mate. I was thinking beforehand, just based on the players that I want to try shoehorn in, I've gone for a 4-2-3-1.
Okay.
I think that's what we're going to go with. And we'll start with goalkeeper.
Yep. Well, I mean, Edison has got the most clean sheets in the Premier League this season. I would say with Edison, is his goalkeeping ability as good as anybody? Is it the best in terms of shot stopping? Possibly not. But obviously what else he brings to the game, is fantastic. And obviously, if you've got the most clean sheets in the league, and I think we have by a few, then I'm obviously going to be pitching for Edison for that. Your guy, I don't know, always looks as an outsider, always looks maybe a little bit nervous. Maybe he's not as commanding as he could be, but that's an outsider's opinion.
Yeah, I think I'm happy to concede Edison again. I'll get stick for this because, to be honest, Melier is a great keeper. He's only 21. He actually broke Joe Hart's record for the most amount of clean sheets for a player under the age of 21.
Okay.
So he actually broke that record, which shows, especially in this Leeds United side that do concede a lot of chances, for him to break that record. I mean, Joe Hart did it with a strong back four in front of him. Do you know what I mean? So he is a great keeper, and I do think he'll go on to be France's number one in the future. But based on this season and where we're at and who City have got in goal, I'm happy to go with Ederson in goal.
Okay.
Right back, mate. Who's your shout?
Well, so we've had obviously we kind of rotate our right backs. We've got you can choose between Kyle Walker and João Cancelo. Now they offer different things completely. Walker's great up and down. He's obviously got the pace on that side, whereas João Cancelo is more comes in field. And actually, although he starts as playing right back, ends up playing sort of in a midfield role a lot of the time. And João Cancelo can play on the left as well. Personally, I think Cancelo's had a slightly better season than Walker, but Walker's not really let us down. So it's a really difficult one to separate those two from a City point of view. I must admit, they both bring something different, and depending on who we play in, we're lucky enough that we can rotate them. And actually, a lot of the time when we're attacking, we go to a three at the back, and depending on who we're playing at fullback, they'll drop into the midfield. So, from an orthodox right back position, I suppose Walker is the more orthodox. If you're playing a 4-2-3-1 like this, then you'd go with Walker from that stage. But I'm sure, obviously, Luke Ayling.
Luke Ayling, yeah. He's been great this season. Arguably, he's gone off the boil a little bit of late, but I mean, at one stage, he had the most progressive yards and most progressive passes, up there with the likes of Rodrigo de Paul and these other key midfielders. So he's had a fantastic season, mate. I'd be happy to put him in there. But what are your thoughts, mate? What are we thinking?
Yeah, like I said, from a traditional right back point of view, Walker's got himself back in the England squad. So he's done really well to sort of fight back into the England squad. So I'd be. I should be, I'll be fighting for his corner from that point of view. I actually think it's one of the areas that maybe is a bit of a toss up. To be fair, and there'll be other positions that maybe I'd fight a little bit more for coming up. I don't know what depends what you think there.
Yeah, look, man, I think the fact that. Like you say, Ayling was touted for an England call-up, didn't get it. Walker got it. Then let's go with Gareth. Let's agree with Gareth Southgate.
Okay, then that seems fair. You probably can't split them too much, but based on that criteria, that seems fair. Yeah,
cool. Centre backs, then, mate. Obviously from your end, who's your preferred partnership? Is it Stones and Diaz? Would they be the boys?
On form, yes. Yeah, I mean they've been excellent together. I'm not sure if it's still the case today, but at one point they had scored more than they conceded. So as a pair, they'd scored more goals than they conceded over 15, 16, 17 games, something sort of ridiculous like that. So Ruben Diaz, 100% has to go in this. He's absolutely changed our team. He's changed the mentality of the squad. So his debut was actually against you guys. In the return fixture at Ellen Road earlier this season. We'd just been beaten by Leicester 5-2, where we'd given away 3 penalties, and we were absolutely awful. I didn't think he had a too bad a game at your place. We obviously struggled in places, and you guys put us under a lot of pressure and such like that. But from after that game, the mentality, and he cares about clean sheets. It personally offends him if somebody has a shot on target. He's that type of out-and-out defender, and he has. With John Stones beside him, he's dragged John Stones back up to the level we all hope John Stones could get to. Yeah. Now, saying that, Laporte's obviously been injured for a while, so he had a bit of a run in the team. Had a bit of a mishap at Spurs where he was at fault for at least one of the goals when we got beat at Spurs back in November. Got taken out of the team, got an injury, then struggled to sort of get back into the team. However, there is an argument now that he can come in. And again, it depends on how we play because we like to go to this 3 at the back when we've got the ball and place somebody else in midfield. I'm actually happier when he's on the left-hand side of that Laporte because he's got a left foot and everything like that. But if, again, for the sake of a traditional back four, Stones and Diaz at this moment in time, based on the form this season, have just been outstanding. And like I said, for me, Ruben Diaz is up there for a Player of the Year shout. Definitely.
I think, him, Gundogan, they for me have been both exceptional. And Kevin De Bruyne is always amazing, isn't he, regardless? So, look, Leeds fans will kill me, but I'm happy to go with Stones and Diaz. I am, because I think they've both been exceptional. I like that Stones is fulfilling his potential. I think he gets a lot of unfair stick, especially on the international stage, and he's a Yorkshire boy as well. I'm happy to go with Stones and Diaz, mate.
No, that's good. Yeah, the Stones thing, obviously, with England the other week, it was really unfortunate. He made that one mistake, and you get all that chatter again. He'd put all that behind him. He had put a foot wrong for us all season. So, they've both been excellent, and that seems fair, because I think this next position maybe is probably one of the City's weaker points. So maybe there's an opportunity here for. I'm
going with Stuart Dallas for this. Stuart Dallas has been playing in midfield recently. But has had bouts at left back, and arguably the player of the season for Leeds United fans, Mr. Consistent. He's just had an exceptional season. And like you say, the Leeds fans, after, like for me, when I see Cancelo playing at left back against Dortmund, it made me happy, because that means for me that either Zinchenko or Mendy are going to play at the weekend at left back, I'd assume, which gives me confidence as your Leeds United fan, because we've seen in that first game, Mendy got subbed. Pavetta gave him a torrid time, to be fair. So I think left back, happy to go with Stewie D, mate, if you are. Stuart Dallas.
So we've had sort of, like you said, Cancelo's played there. Zinchenko's actually, in the last few months, has been really, really good, actually. He's played pretty well. It's not his natural position. He's actually never played anywhere else really for us than left back, although he is more of a midfield player by trade. I think that's why he plays for his country. Mendy, look, he scored last weekend and he was good, but I wouldn't be trusting. I don't trust Mendy defensively at all. You know, if we had to go into a Champions League final, for example, I don't think I'd want Mendy playing left back at all. So it's one of the areas where I'm hoping in the summer we go and strengthen. I think we do need a proper left back that's gonna take that position and make it their own for quite a while. I'm happy to concede the left back position, and I like Stuart Dallas. He's a good honest player, and he always has a good game wherever he plays, whenever I see him. So
good stuff. Let's move it into the midfield then, mate. We might have to change this formation about a bit, because I've just mentioned KDB, Gundogan. They've got to go in, surely, haven't they? Do we go with a 3-man midfield? Possibly?
Well, this is what I was thinking when I was having before we started this. Is that I know you play 4-1-4-1. You could argue that that's 4-3-3 as well if you push your wingers forward a little bit. And we generally do the same. Yeah, from a midfield point of view, Kevin De Bruyne is Kevin De Bruyne. He's one of the best, one of the best 5 players in the world. Ilkay Gundogan is in that shout with the Player of the Year season. He's had an unbelievable patch for 3 or 4 months, scoring lots and lots of goals. I suppose the one player in that midfield then is the holding midfield player. We've obviously got Rodri, who's our main starter. Fernandinho, who I love, and he's an absolute legend at City. Team, club captain. And if he was 10 years younger, it'd be unbelievable. But he's a bit part player, so he probably hasn't played enough to get in this team. Although he was excellent against Leicester last weekend when he played. But I know obviously Calvin Phillips is in the England squad. It's probably a type of player that once Fernandinho goes, maybe that, given he's been schooled under Bielsa, that Pep might look at as a potential replacement. I
think that would be some midfield 3 as well. Calvin, Gundogan, and KDB either side. Exceptional.
Rodri's got better this season, and he's been quite vital again to what we've done. If there's one criticism, he's maybe not as mobile, as Fernandinho was for us when he was in his pomp. That's something that Phillips could offer. I would think you need somebody that's quite mobile in that position.
Yeah.
So again, I would think Calvin Phillips with Kevin De Bruyne and Ilkay Gundogan in that midfield three feels right. Yeah,
It does. That was nice and easy. Good stuff. Good stuff. Right on the right hand side then of the three.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to, and I won't concede it. I'm gonna have to go with that man Rafinha. 17 million. He's coming. He's been absolutely exceptional. Could easily see him at a City straight away. Would fit straight in. Yes, he might not be a starter, but he would definitely get in that squad. He's that good. And for me, I know on the right hand side, Mahrez, I get it. He's great, but I just think the impact that Rafinha's had at Leeds United, I would have to put him there, mate. I don't know do you have any objection to that?
No, not particularly. No, Mahrez is a frustrating player. So he's been with us for a few years now, and generally his style of play is a lot different to a lot of the other City players. He only kind of plays in one position, where a lot of City players can sort of mix and match. Yeah. What I will say about Mahrez, he's got one of the best first touches I've ever seen in a football player. Unfortunately, his second and his third touch sometimes lets him down, and he's quite frustrating. Saying that, he went through a spell January, February time where he was one of our best players, and there was a few games where we really struggled. West Ham at home, Everton away, where we were sort of labouring, and he kind of pulled us through those games himself. So Mahrez on the right. The other option is potentially Sterling, and I'll be honest, Sterling's had an awful season for us. Really, I say awful. That's really, really bad. But by his standards, he hasn't really been there. So again, in the balance of with fairness and everything like that, I'm happy to concede that. To Rafinha, I can see the impact he's had on the league. And like you said, with all due respect, people will be probably at some point be sniffing around 100%. Him. I would have thought, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, 100%, mate. I don't think it'll be this summer, but if he has another season again, then the following summer there'll be some big suitors for him. And if we're not in Europe, then it might get to a stage where highest bidder. But when we've paid 17 million for him, we're gonna double that without a doubt. You know what I mean? If not more. So
definitely.
So happy days. Left hand side, mate.
Yeah. For me, it's got to be Phil Foden. Definitely. I mean, there's not really much I can say that people don't already know about him. The lad has been special. We've been patient with to see him getting a good run in the team. He's had that for ages. He's winning us games. He's scoring goals. He's getting assists. He's now. I actually don't think I'm not too sure if he'll play on Saturday when we play because he played in the Champions League game the other night. Yeah. And I'm expecting quite a lot of changes for the team against you guys, and so he's part of our first 11 now, and he has to play. I mean, that performance at Anfield earlier this season was just unbelievable. And that goal he scored, he's possibly going to be first choice for England in the summer. Yeah, the lad,
he's exceptional, man.
Yeah, fantastic. He's fantastic.
I think the way Pep's managed him as well, like you say, a lot of managers would have thrown him in a couple of seasons ago when there was all this clamour for him, and I just think the way that Pep's managed him is perfect. And do you think is he just at that level below the likes of Haaland and Mbappe, or would you say he has the potential, similar sort of age range?
Yeah, I don't think he's maybe got the level of Mbappe, definitely, or Haaland. He's probably just a little bit under that, I would have thought. But that's because maybe he doesn't play week in, week out. Unfortunately, he still does get rotated. That's not to say that in the next year or two he can't get that. And if fingers crossed, we get at least into the semi-finals of the Champions League. I think you need to get to these levels, to sort of get to that status. The type of player he is. He's got a lot. He has got pace, but it's not. He's not it's not that type of explosive. The type of player is. It's David Silva, and David Silva is still doing it. We're still doing it now at Real Sociedad. You know what I mean? It's a longevity thing. So I think give it another 2 or 3 years, and he's going to be. He'll be right up there. But and again, I think he'll be. He must be one of the favourites for Young Player of the Year, Phil Foden this year, for sure, definitely. But he is. You ask any City fan, we've struggled in games this season and it's been baffling that he's been sat on the bench. He has to play every game.
Yeah, he's exceptional, and like you say, I think maybe Sterling, Mahrez start at the weekend, and I'm which is mad to think that I'm happier with that than but Phil Foden is that good. Do you know what I mean? Phil Foden is that.
I think Sterling will start. Whether Mahrez does, we may go with the Aguero Jesus partnership because Jesus can play on the left, and he's actually Jesus. This probably feeds into the striker conversation we're going to have in a second. Actually, Jesus is possibly better playing off the left. His work rate is unbelievable. And I'm not sure whether or not he's an out-and-out number 9 goal scorer, but what he does bring to the team on that side. So I do think they'll play on Saturday. But yeah, Foden definitely for the left, and then that opens up the question for the striker. Really, I think
look, in a normal case, Dave, Aguero wins it hands down, 100%. One of the greatest Premier League players players to ever, like foreign exports to ever grace the Premier League. Absolute exceptional talent. Gutted that he's going to be moving on. I'm not a Man City fan, but I don't want him to rock up at another Premier League club. I want him to go to Europe somewhere. I can imagine. You feel the same, and build him a statue and that. And even as a Leeds fan, it was a great moment when he scored that goal and it cut to Phil Jones with his top off and Fergie's saying, "Get off the pitch." I'll never be a Leeds fan because I don't like Man United.
Exactly.
So it was a great moment, man.
I mean, obviously, Sergio's, he's the greatest striker we've ever had. The stats balling that out, the moments, the individual moments of brilliance. That goal is the greatest moment I'll probably ever live through as a City fan. Nothing will ever beat that. We know we could win the Champions League 5 times. It'll never ever beat that moment. But yeah, unfortunately, he got injured. He got injured last season after we came back from the lockdown for those games, and he's never really recovered. And then he got to a place where he was about to recover, and then he got in contact with somebody that got COVID, and then got COVID himself. So that sort of put him back another few weeks. And I think it was pretty obvious that when he came back, and especially against United, there was a shot of him on the bench against United where, we needed a goal. And he wasn't warming up. He was just sat on the bench with his feet up. And from that point, it was obvious really that he was going. It is sad, but one thing I will say is with a lot of our legends recently, David Silva, Zabaleta, company, Torre, we let them go at the right time. A lot of City fans might argue he possibly could do another season, but I think obviously we do want to refresh that, and we do want another out and out striker. And it is the one thing. It is we do need an out and out striker. We get into a lot of positions. We create a lot of great opportunities, but we're not as ruthless. And this might seem really weird to fans of other team that we're not. We've won so many games this season, and the run we've been on is ridiculous. Yeah, but we're not playing to our full potential. We could get even better if we had someone to put the ball in the back of the net.
Like a Haaland, maybe.
Well, I mean, that would be the dream. To me, he's the future. I mean, Mbappe's incredible, and we saw that last night for Bayern. Yeah, he is incredible. Haaland is a ruthless number 9 goal scorer, and if you think you've got De Bruyne, who's just signed a new contract for 5 years, 4 years, whatever it was, feeding somebody like Haaland. Yeah,
look at that ball. Look at the ball for Jesus' goal from De Bruyne against Leicester at the weekend. Yeah, inches he's able to play them through. Like you say, if that's a Haaland running at the pace he has with the power that he has, he's scoring 30 plus a season, isn't he? It's insane numbers.
Exactly, and. So we've probably slightly missed that. So Aguero, this season he's not played. He's 5 or 6 appearances or something like that. He's got a couple of goals in the Champions League. He's not really played this season, so we can't really. We have to put him to one side for this debate. Yeah. Jesus again works hard when he hasn't got time to think about it. When he's instinctive, he's good. When he's got time to think about it, he just goes to pot and everything like that. Yeah. Whereas Bamford's had a great season, and look, he's been doing great for my fantasy team. He's in my, I've got, like a lot.
There you go. If he's in your fantasy team, he's got to be in this, Dave.
I'll be honest. When I was thinking of, what are the positions to concede? Yeah. He was him and Phillips were the two that I had that I thought were probably, and Rafinha, and you would probably argue for. So Bamford's had a great season. little bit unlucky not to get called up to England.
I think so.
In the last squad, between him and Watkins, I'd probably take Bamford over Watkins. If Bamford can have a good end to the season, score, get this talk of the squad's been up to 25. There may be an outside chance for him to get in, and who knows? Somebody picks up an injury between now and then. It'd be good to, I'd have no qualms with him being in the squad and everything like that. Takes to it quite well. So, I'm happy to sort of let you have Bamford from there. And
great stuff. Some quite a team. So let's take a look at it. Here we go then, Dave. There's the completed side, mate. Looking good, right? It'd do bits, I think.
Yeah, we've got a strong defence there. Diaz and Stones has been solid. Walker's got the pace up and down. Dallas is Mr. Reliable. Phillips has got the mobility in midfield for Gundogan and De Bruyne to do their thing, and then you've got creativity and goals up front. I think. I think that'd be a strong Premier League team. I think that's a top 4 Premier League team there.
Yeah, man. I think that team does win the quadruple.
maybe that's what we're. Yeah, well, maybe so.
Yeah,
maybe so.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
But Dave, honestly, thank you so much for coming on and agreeing to do this for me, mate. It's been a pleasure. Where can we find you, Dave, on the old Twitter sphere? Is there anything you're doing?
Yeah, so my Twitter is it's at Wimpy Tweets on Twitter. I do a lot of contribution to BBC Radio Manchester. They have a football show 6 till 7. I'm a regular contributor on there for obviously representing the blue side of Manchester from that. But yeah, at Wimpy Tweets. If you want to follow a City fan, that I'm not as maybe as bitter as a lot of City fans. I like to be quite fair and about things. So if you're looking for a view from another club, then give me a shout. And I'm always happy to chat to other fans. And obviously, apart from the weekend, good luck to you guys for the rest of the season. And
mate. And I hope you do the quadruple, mate. I hope you do the quadruple because it would be nice to see a club that isn't one that I hate do it. You know what I mean? I don't mind City. I don't mind Liverpool, Chelsea, Man United. Nah. Can't stick them, mate. So,
well, fingers crossed. And I think you guys have got United before the end of the season, have you? So, yeah, if you could do us a favour there, then we can get the league wrapped up as soon as possible. Definitely.
We've got you, Liverpool, and Man United in the next 3. So, quite an eventful month for us. So, let's see how we do. If only we could be in grounds, mate. If only we could be in grounds, it'd be. I feel sorry for you guys having to have missed out this season. Coming back up, but fingers crossed for next season. And that's what I mean. We've survived, haven't we, mate? We've survived, so we can get it next season.
Definitely, mate. Definitely.
Yeah.
But no, cheers for inviting me. I enjoyed it, and like I said, good luck with everything.
Cheers, Dave. Thank you, mate. See you in a bit, pal.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.